Good morning, everyone. I'm audible. Thank you. Okay, so in the last session, we have discussed about UJT, that is a unijunction transistor. How that UJT can be used as a relaxation oscillator. Okay, so basically, we were studying about the firing circuits of the SCR. So as we know that the SCR is generally turned on by forward biasing it. The first and the most important condition is that it should be forward biased, that is a positive voltage should be applied to its anode terminal with respect to its cathode, and then we should apply some positive gate voltage to its gate terminal. A sufficient gate voltage needs to be applied at its gate terminal so that it will be turned on. Okay, so in order to turn on this, we can use UJT as a oscillator so that it will provide the triggering signal to its gate terminal, and that forward bias ACR can be turned on. Okay, so similar to the UJT, there is one more device that we can make use, is a PUT, that is a programmable unijunction transistor. So as you can see that its symbol or its structure is like the ACR, that is it has got four layers, PN, PN, P1, N1, P2, N2. Okay, there are three terminals like that ACR, that is anode, cathode and gate. The symbol is also similar, quite similar to that of the ACR, but the main difference is that the gate terminal. Okay, so in case of the ACR, the gate terminal is at cathode side. Okay, in case of ACR, the gate terminal was at the cathode side, but here in case of PUT, the gate terminal here it is present at the anode side. So that is the most important difference between the ACR and this PUT. The symbol of this ACR and PUT is that the gate terminal in case of ACR is at the cathode side, whereas the gate terminal in this PUT is at anode side. So that is why it is also called as a complementary SCR. Okay, so this is the main difference. That is why I had asked you while teaching the always studying the structure of the SCR. I had told you that uh, in order to draw this gate, do not draw this gate anywhere else. In case of SCR, I had drawn it at this here, but here in case of PUT, the gate is at this N1 layer. So that is the difference between the PUT and the SCR. Okay. So the characteristics is also same as that of the ACR. It has got the four layers. With when we keep this anode at positive potential to cathode, this PUT can be turned on by applying some positive gate voltage. Okay. The ACR was turned on by applying some positive potential to its gate terminal. Now, when this here in case of this PUT, when we apply some negative gate voltage, also it can be turned on by positive gate voltage. But when we apply some negative gate voltage to the gate terminal, what happens? The N1 layer which has got the higher resistivity, so the hard gate drive will be required. So the gate is always maintained positive with respect to the cathode. Okay, so now when we apply some positive gate voltage to this gate terminal, in order to turn on the device, either we can increase the voltage across anode and cathode in such a way that the device will be turned on. Okay, now when anode voltage exceeds the gate voltage by a drop of 0.7 volts, then this junction J1 will be it will start conducting and current will flow out of this N1, and this device will be turned on. Okay, so this is how this device can be turned on. Now here, okay, So here this PUT can be used as a relaxation oscillator. So this is the basic circuitry that we are having for this PUT. Now in case of UJT, what we have studied is the peak point voltage, that is the voltage required to turn on this UJT, was given as Vp was given as RB1 divided by RB1 plus RB2 into VBB, right? So that is nothing but the potential or the voltage required to turn on the UJT. Okay. Here RB1 and RB2 are the internal base resistors. Now if you observe the relaxation oscillator of this PUT, here the R1 and R2 are the external resistors. Okay, R1 and R2 are the external resistors over here. Here this Vp is nothing but eta into Vpp, right? So this was eta into, so this eta is the intrinsic standoff ratio. It was depending upon the internal base resistors Rb1 and Rb2. But here in case of this PUT, this eta is based upon the external resistors R1 and R2. Its eta can be programmed or it can be varied based upon the application. So that is why this type of is called as a programmable unijunction transistor. See here, this Vp peak point voltage, that is the voltage required to turn on that PUT, is given as R2 divided by R1 plus R2 into this voltage applied across this relaxation oscillator Vs, right? So okay, so here this eta is nothing but ratio of R2 by R1 plus R2. So by using various values of R1 and R2, we can vary this value of eta. In case of UJT, that eta was based upon the internal base resistors RB1 and RB2. Therefore, it was constant. It was in between 0.51 to 0.82. But here, in case of this PUT, we can vary this value of eta by varying the value of R1 and R2. That is why this is called as a programmable unijunction transistor. Here the value of eta can be programmed as per the application, or it can be varied as per our application. That is why this is called as a programmable unijunction transistor. Okay. Now, okay. So what happens when we apply supply voltage across this relaxation oscillator? Okay. So as we know that once we apply the supply voltage across this relaxation oscillator, this is PUT. Okay. So there is one mistake here. The symbol is cathode has not been drawn here. So this is the cathode terminal. Okay. Now as soon as the supply voltage is applied across this relaxation oscillator, what will happen? The capacitor will start charging through resistor R. Okay. Capacitor will start charging through this resistor R. So as soon as this voltage across this capacitor Vc is nothing but equal to the voltage available across the anode terminal. Okay, that is Va. Okay, once the voltage across this capacitor okay, so once this voltage across this capacitor Vc becomes greater than whatever is the voltage available at this gate terminal. See here, the voltage across this gate terminal VG is nothing but VG. Okay, so here voltage available at this gate terminal VP. Okay, here it is the gate terminal of this PUT. Now that VG is nothing but voltage, whatever is the voltage available at this node, that is equal to R2 divided by R1 plus R2 into Vs, that is equal to eta into Vs, right? Now, as soon as the voltage across this capacitor, once it starts charging towards this R, the voltage across capacitor is nothing but what voltage available at its anode terminal. Now, once the voltage across this capacitor or voltage at this anode terminal exceeds this voltage available at this gate potential, what will happen? This PUT will be turned on. Okay, so once this PUT is turned on, this capacitor will start discharging through this PUT and R naught. So while discharging, it will provide you a pulse like this. Okay, here when the voltage, once we apply this supply voltage to this relaxation oscillator, capacitor will start charging through this resistor R. Okay, now the voltage across this capacitor is nothing but the potential available at the anode terminal of this PUT. When the voltage across this capacitor or the potential available at this anode terminal exceeds whatever is the voltage available at its gate terminal, that is nothing but the peak point voltage of this PUT. The PUT will be turned on. Once this PUT is turned on, the capacitor will start discharging to this PUT and R naught, which will cause a pulse available across this R naught. Okay, now this pulse will be applied as the triggering signal to the SCR. So whatever is the pulse generated across this R naught, it will be used as the gate signal to turn on the SCR. Okay, got it. Now here, while while this capacitor is discharging through this R naught, one more current is flowing through this PUT, that is to R1. So the healthier pulses have been obtained across this R naught in, as compared to the UJT. Okay, now here once the capacitor start discharging, the PUT will be turned off when the current flowing through this PUT will fall below its holding value. Okay, the PUT will be turned off. PUT will be turned on when the capacitor will again start charging for this resistor, and when the voltage across this capacitor will be equal to the, or it will go beyond the peak point voltage of this PUT. Okay, have you understood this? Okay, just like UJT is a relaxation oscillator, the capacitor will start discharging and discharging through this resistor R. As soon as the voltage across this capacitor is equals to peak point voltage of this PUT will be turned on. That's it. And once it has been turned on, the capacitor will start discharging through this PUT and this resistor R naught, and a pulse will be generated across this R naught that can be used as a pulse, a gate pulse to turn on the SCR. That's it. So this is how we can make use of this PUT. So this is one more relaxation oscillator which we can have. Now the advantage of using this PUT over UJT is that the first difference is that in case of UJT, the value of eta was depending upon the internal base resistors R1 and R2, and it was in between 0.51 to 0.82. But in case of PUT, the value of peak point voltage depends upon the eta intrinsic ratio, which in turn depends upon the external resistors R1 and R2. So here better choice of eta is available in case of PUT. Okay. Also, the PUT relaxation oscillator provides a high peak current pulse output as compared to the UJT. Okay. Also, the PUT has got fast rise time, which allows the faster rise in the current and provides the healthy output pulses as compared to the UJT. So it is better to use PUT instead of UJT. Okay. So this is about the PUT. Okay. Okay. So one more device we can make use is a diac and triac. So so there is one more device that we can make use of is the diac. Okay. So here the relaxation oscillator using diac has been shown over here. During the positive half cycle of the input, the capacitor will start charging through this resistor R. Okay. Now during the positive half cycle of the input, the capacitor will start charging through this resistor R towards the breakdown voltage of this diac. Okay. Now once the voltage across this capacitor is equal to breakdown voltage, VC is equal to VBR, that is the breakdown voltage of this diac. At that time, diac will be turned on. So once this diac is turned on, the capacitor will start discharging through this diac at R0. Okay. So once this diac is turned on, the capacitor will start charging through this diac and resistor R0, which will provide a pulse across this R0. While discharging, a pulse will be provided across this R0. So here, while discharging, a pulse will be generated. So that pulse will be again used to turn on the SCR. Okay. Now during the negative half cycle, what will happen? Now during negative half cycle again, the capacitor will start charging in the opposite direction through this resistor R. Again, whenever this voltage across this capacitor is equal to the breakdown voltage of this diac, the diac will be turned on, and once it is turned on, there is capacitor will start discharging through R0 and diac, providing you a one more pulse across this R0. So here a one more pulse will be generated. So if you observe the diac actually, the diac characteristic is like this. Okay. So either it can be turned on during the positive half cycle or as well as in the negative half cycle. Okay. Once the voltage across this diac exceeds this breakdown voltage, it will be turned on. That's it. So it will provide you positive as well as negative pulses, which can be used to turn on the SCR. तेच जर आपण इथं AC सप्लायच्या ऐवजी we use the pulsating DC, no, it will provide only positive pulses. If we apply pulsating DC here, then this diac will generate only positive pulses like this. Okay, got it everyone? Okay, so this was about the firing circuits of the ACR. So we have studied how we can turn on the ACR using the various relaxation oscillators like UJT, PUT and DIAC. Okay, so in the next session we will discuss about the commutation circuits. Commutation circuits stands for how to turn off a conducting ACR. Okay, the ACR which is in the on state. Okay, how we can turn off that ACR using the various commutation techniques. So in the next session, we will discuss about the various commutation techniques. Actually, the commutation techniques are line commutation, load commutation, post commutation, and external pulse commutation. So these are the various main categories of these commutation techniques, and they have been subcategorized as Class A commutation, Class B commutation, Class C commutation, Class D commutation, Class E commutation, and Class F commutation. Okay, so in the next session, we will discuss about how the conducting thyristor can be turned off using the various commutation techniques. Okay, so today we will stop here and we will continue in the next session. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.